Hello and welcome to the free training on the topic of beginner's mind and therapy. You know, about 50% of my students on the double diploma in hypnotherapy and mind coaching are counsellors, psychotherapists, medical professionals, coaches and holistic therapists. And the other 50% of my students, well, they have little or no therapy experience. But they're there because they have a burning desire to help others and to make the world a better place. And you might think that the students who have previous experience in therapy would have an advantage. And there's two ways of looking at it. You see, to learn hypnotherapy and mind coaching, the professional therapists, they have to step away from their familiar therapy skills, and they have to learn a very action-orientated modality, and that can be a little uncomfortable at times. And the students with no experience, they often think that they have a disadvantage, and you know that might be true if they were to believe it. But the key is to remember that everyone has to start somewhere. I started back in 1995, and every day I learned something new from the best teachers in life, and they are my clients and my students. And ultimately, as the principal of Hypnotherapy Business Academy, it's my job to create a level playing field so that everyone can learn together and everyone can develop what is called Shoshin, or beginner's mind in Zen Buddhism. Now, beginner's mind means having an openness and an eagerness to learn without preconceptions, even if you're at an advanced level. You see, when you're working with clients, it doesn't matter how much you know as a therapist or an individual. When it comes to helping your clients, you have to approach your work with a beginner's mind. Each client is an individual, and regardless of how advanced your therapy skills might be, or how much you might know about the problem they present, you still need to commence therapy at the start. You can't jump into the middle, and you can't jump into the end of the process. Now, you might know so much that you think that you can take shortcuts and jump in with some deep work, but that would be too much, too soon, and too fast for your clients, and they would be likely to shut down before they even get started. And it's the same when my students are learning hypnotherapy and mind coaching. We have to start the course at the beginning, and each student has to build their skills on strong foundations and well-formed outcomes. So, cultivating a beginner's mind, first as a student and then as a therapist, are two key skills that you will learn in hypnotherapy and mind coaching. And these are skills that will stand the test of time. So to help you to start cultivating a beginner's mind in therapy, I've compiled a little list of do's and don'ts for you. So when a client labels a problem such as depression, comfort eating, or focal dystonia, never assume you know what a label means. Always ask your client to describe the labels that they use. For example, you can ask, what does depression mean to you? What does comfort eating involve? Exactly what happens when you get focal dystonia or the yips when you're playing golf or tennis? And you know, never second guess a client or assume you know why they're acting in a certain way. In other words, avoid asking clients questions with multiple choice answers. For example, avoid saying something like, so tell me, why are you afraid of driving on the motorway? Is it because of the speed of the traffic or because you had a bad experience? Questions like that make the assumption that you know something about their problem, but you don't. Just ask and listen. Another tip is to aim to break a problem or a challenge down into individual parts by asking specific questions. What? When? Where? And beginner's mind means swapping out a lot of why-based questions for how-based questions instead. You see, when we are asked why questions, they can cause us to become defensive. Why did you do that? Why did that matter? Why are you upset? You see, questions like that can cause a reactive response. Whereas how questions often cause us to reflect more deeply on something as it happens. So when we say, how is it affecting you? Or how did it happen? Questions like that are more gentle and collaborative. And as you assemble your skills, you learn a lot of deep interventions that are designed to shift negative beliefs and to overcome past trauma. And with such great skills in your toolkit, you know, it's only natural to want to get stuck in when you're working with your clients. But it's important to remember that just because you have all of these great skills, you can't just jump in at the deep end. You have to move at the pace that is right for your clients. And when our clients come to therapy, they don't know what you know. They haven't had the opportunity to learn hypnotherapy and mind coaching, and so you've got to start with them at the beginning. You've got to help them advance at their own pace. You've got to guide them through their challenges before they can get to the end and get the outcome that they want. So beginner's mind means starting the therapy process with each new client with the curiosity and openness of a beginner. As someone who sees clients not as just another weight loss client or a smoking client or a phobia client or a client with depression or anxiety or some stress-related condition, but as an individual with their own unique story and history and their own unique process for learning and their own specific goals. And if you are just starting out as a therapist, you can take comfort in the fact that no matter how big a client challenge might seem to be, know that the best place to start is at the beginning. And that first session of therapy will be very easy for you as you and your client learn how to tap into their confidence and how to access some of the resources that they need for the journey ahead. So, as always today, I'm finishing this episode with my musical anchor. Now, this piece of music is designed to give you a few moments of space and calmness amid all the noise and busyness of life, so that you can enjoy the music with an openness and an eagerness to just listen and relax. So this is Susan Wallace. Remember, I'm here to help you be the best, have the best, and give your best to your clients. So thank you for listening. Bye for now.